All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again. Sorry for that. The two ruffians came on and disrupted everything. Ratchet Craig and Mika, I hate y'all so fucking much, right? But there's a few things I gotta ask Dr. Leandre. Now, check this out, right? There's a fight going on between the truth versus the crawling coward Crawford, right? And I have to say this, man. Now, Leandre's been fighting, beating the hell out of motherfuckers, and I really, really respect this brother, man. I'm a Slim Reaper fan. You see what I'm saying? And I had to rep my home, Dallas, Texas, man. So, of course, since I'm repping, Dallas, I know that Spence is going to be the truth tonight and beat the hell out of Crawford. But before we get back to the nitty-gritty questions, Leandre, who the hell do you got in this fight, brother?
So I have Spence. I have been tempted to go for Crawford because there's a couple people with some pretty high stakes bets around here, around Fresno. So I've been tempted to go the opposite direction because I can win some stuff. But I am going for Earl Spence.
All right. Because Earl Spence is the bigger puncher. He's the better boxer. And a lot of people are beginning to get mad at me. And I don't know if you know. I don't think DMG told you, but we have a group called the Sports Dungeon that comes on 4:30 Central Time, 5:30, ish. And we talk about sports all goddamn day. And boxing is one of the things we talk about, right? If you are interested, if you want to join in, brother, please let us know. And we can talk about DMG's unhealthy obsession with Aaron Rodgers and why he say that Aaron Rodgers is better than Brett Favre, which is insanity and lunacy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But other than that, though, there is a few questions I would like to ask you, right? Because we are going to end this because I got some money on this fight. And
yes, sir.
Check it out, right? I interviewed Sarnetta a while back, right? And, cool dude, The rumors are not too true about him from what I can see, right?
Mm-hmm.
I told Sarnetta he's responsible for creating a lot of the monsters you see and deal with today, like the Young Pharaohs and the JJ7000s and stuff like that. He's responsible for giving these creatures a place where they can just run around and be a damn ass and create bullshit, right?
Yeah.
But he said something to me that was quite interesting. He stated and said that this is not what he intended it to be. He wanted his people to come together and have unity and have stability and have purpose as a people, right? Now, the question I want to ask you is this, right? You said the conscious community is dead, right? The Godfather, he said it himself. He said it's dying with him. He said it's dying with him. What is your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think that he is Dr. Frankenstein, and that Frankenstein, as we typically call him, is not the actual name of the monster. It's the name of the doctor who created the Frankenstein's monster. He is Dr. Frankenstein, and the conscious community is his monster. So when he dies, I think that the lifeline, will largely either going to have some zombie, some semblance of it, but I think that the conscious community has been dead from the start because the person who brought it into being was just as dead as they are. So Sarnetta, and this is one of the things too that I had an issue with. I went on his channel because DMG asked me to. I had no interest in doing so prior to. And Sarnetta referred to his channel as the Big Leagues. And it was one of the most ridiculous things I'd ever heard in my life.
Right.
The amount of people who are on there with their nonsense. And then he refers himself as the news station. He's like, I'm like the news, brother, and all the stuff like that. He's not the Big League. I think that, the conscious community was born dead, like Frankenstein's monster. And so, I think, that with Sarnetta, with his nonsense, he thinks he knows stuff he doesn't know. He thinks he has information he does not have. And, and again, I think that that the conscious community, is in large part, is his baby, is his brainchild, and so, so they're pretty brain dead.
Right. So they're saying they're born dead, living dead. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because one thing and shout out to Saul, right? He said it would be a part 2. If you have any questions for him, bro, please hit your brother up. You know what I'm saying? because I need some questions from you, Leandre, because I know you got some fire ones, man.
Well, yeah, yes, and again, and to sort of touch on that, like, I asked DMG about the same thing, because Sonnetter, I think that there's a certain level of responsibility that any person has when you provide a platform to certain people.
Right.
This was a dude, like, with his COVID response. And again, it's like in our community, just like as a whole, and I'm talking about like the inner city community, like, like the sort of the hood, the ghetto, that kind of stuff, right? That community. There's at least two different Black Americans. I'm talking about that one where the niggas are.
Mm-hmm.
People like myself, you know what I mean? And so this is where Sonnetter, where he has his foothold. And I don't think that there's a such thing as a neutral place. You can be a force for good, you can be a force for evil. And I think, you can be misused and all that kind of stuff. I think that his platform and his channel is a haven for like pseudo nonsense, the people who are his favorites, people he has on there all the time. I don't think you can just take a neutral stance, be like, well, yeah, I just gave him an opportunity to present their stuff. But that I don't buy the amoral position. You have people on here presenting stuff that are getting people killed, like related to the COVID vaccine. And Sonnetter talking about, how the COVID vaccine is going to make people gay. And so, it's like that's a problem when Black folks are disproportionately dying from COVID. So, it's like he's responsible for a lot of this brain dead activity out here, and like DMG, it takes it for him all the time, and he tries to defend him. And I just disagree. I think he's responsible for a lot of the stuff that happens or going to happen in this community.
Right. Excruciating, but I get your point. So check this out, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, Leandre, I gotta say this, man. You're super entertaining, and brother, I gotta do this shit with you again, right? I got to. But Ratchet and Mika couldn't contain their goddamn selves, and they just came the fuck in on my show. But of course, when you classic create, that shit happens all the damn time because you're that damn good. You know what I'm saying? They need to learn how to keep one shirt on and one shirt on only, and stop being a motherfucking goddamn me, wearing different team jerseys and shit like that. I don't know.
I got you.
Yeah. But anyway, getting back to the mix, right? I have a question from a Mr. DJ Sean Ski, right? Mm-hmm. And this was an individual that would like to challenge you, have a dialogue with you, right? He's like Moodawal, right? So I know you said, hey, bring the smoke, bring them. All right, I got it, right? But this is the question he pretty much in a lot of ways is trying. He wanted to bring this out, right? And DJ Sean, I'm going to just put it to you like this, right? I'm interviewing him next. And I have to say, that individual, he's been around. He does debate in a lot of academic circles, right? Now, this would be an interesting individual for you to dialogue with. So he has two questions, right? Mm-hmm. Now, question one, right? Are written sources considered and counted as historical evidence?
Well, the answer to that question is yes. History itself is done by documents. There are, of course, auxiliary sciences that history uses, but history itself is an examination of documents.
Okay. All right. So you're basically saying yes, you're giving an affirmative. So he said, if yes, question two. How do we then determine if Thomas Jefferson had a child by Sally Hemings, if some written sources say he did and some written sources say they didn't?
So you would do it the same way you would with really anything else. Anytime that there's any two statements, you would examine the veracity of the particular statements in accordance with pre-existing criteria, logic, right? For example, you examine the correspondence truth theory, right, to see which one corresponds to reality. Do you have corresponding evidence, things like that? Which one has multiple independent witness attestation? That sort of thing. So there's criterions for historicity in this respect. So what you would do is, if you have contradictory sources, what you're going to look to see is do you have anything that corroborates either one of these particular stories? If there's if there's some disagreement between the sources.
Right. So basically, you're saying if there's any type of paradox or something like that with those sources, brother, and that's what you're saying. I don't want to misquote what you're saying.
Well, not necessarily paradox, because a paradox is two seemingly contradictory things that can equally coexist. They can both be true at the same time, but they're seemingly, meaning that they seem to be contradictory. That if there's some contradiction between particular sources, then what you can do is you can attempt to see one, if it's a true or an apparent contradiction, if there's a way to reconcile both of the different accounts. Like, for example, one person could say that a ball is black, another person could say that a ball is white, and one way to reconcile that is if the ball is both black and white, but from each individual particular perspective, that the side you can see is black and the other person can see that the side is white. A true contradiction is as if a person says a ball is white and then the next person says a ball is not white. That's a true contradiction because it involves a proposition and a negation of that exact proposition. So what you do is you examine that to see, how exactly that sort of thing plays out. So there are ways to do that. And so depending on the particular field, there's a particular criteria for establishing which one of those two is correct.
Right. Okay, so that's very interesting. So DJ Sean Ski, I answered it, and he would like to have a dialogue with you.
I'm sorry, was this so for the brother, I really hope that this was a setup to some larger question, because I really hope that this wasn't supposed to be some particular challenge. From a standpoint of logic, which I have a background in, that this was a ridiculous softball question. So I hope that you have a better defensive strategy for the 96 Jordan than this, because that I was hoping from the way you were talked up, throughout this conversation, that there was going to be something more. For the other brother who talked about, about the impossibility of a virgin birth, again, it's like it's stupid and it's like borderline retarded to come to a person who has a view of a supernatural, someone rising from the dead, something like that, and ask about the impossibility of something. It's ridiculous. It's not logically impossible for a person to arise from the dead, which would be my position, that there's no logical impossibilities with God. Not that God doesn't do the impossible, the miraculous. So again, these are ridiculous softball questions. I really would hope that the people who are trying to present themselves as where I am have something more challenging than this.
Damn. But yo, I have to say this, Chief. Leandre, you're a bad motherfucker, right?
I appreciate it. I try a little bit.
I have to say this, Chief. But one thing I do have to say, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Slim Reaper. You laid out the challenge, accept it. If you motherfuckers is afraid, shut up. Don't get in this man's way. And you can only find him on the Whole Effing Show and Paradigm Shift.
That's it.
And if you are a pseudo, a scoffer, an idiot, or a bigot, he will eliminate you with extreme prejudice.
Brother Classic Craig, can I ask a question? Where is I guess the question that I have is, I'm always promised some smoke. Where is the smoke?
Brother,
I haven't been presented one actual challenging question. Now listen, I can tell you, if I was to ask myself certain questions, I have some challenging questions that I have for myself, my own particular belief system.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been presented one tonight. I have not been presented one really ever. And so not since starting this journey. So I guess I'm disappointed. And I just want to reiterate, the conscious community is dead. So the folks who I thought were going to have smoke for me, I really hope that question that you asked from the brother was a setup for some larger thing. Maybe in some future discussion, he's going to say, now you said this, and he's going to come with some logical issue with what I said. But that was stupid. And I want to say again, that was really, really, really stupid. It was ridiculously stupid. Depending on a particular field of method, like you're talking about historical method, you might have sources that say something otherwise. And, there's ways to reconcile those sources logically and historically, if they don't involve an actual logical contradiction. So again, I'm really hoping that you're going to come with something better, because that was weak sauce. So, just let me know, get at me, Brother Classic Craig, let me know, if he has some other question to present, bring it back. I can answer these live. There's no, this is, so give me a challenge.
All right. And, since you are employing Craig and Craig Law Firm with Gavin Associates, right, we will do our part in getting you these individuals, sir. So, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it. And, hey, Spencer's going to win. Stop calling me a Earl sexual. Listen to me. He's going to win. All right. And, Brother Leandre, it will be an honor to have you in the sports dungeon, brother. You know what I'm saying? It would be an honor to have you around if you want to talk about sports and stuff like that, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Got to do some more shows with you too, brother. And yes, Mika, he said it was weak sauce. Make sure your ass do not drive that goddamn car. You better wait on your fucking friend. I'm gonna call you. If not, I'm gonna call Cap and he gonna get on your ass. But anyway, Brother Leandre, it was an honor, Chief. It was cool. I got threatened. I got enlightened. I got taught, you know what I'm saying? All in one motherfucking goddamn show. Even though Mika drunk ass ended the show with live and shit. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is.
What was you were saying something? I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
There it is. There it is. There it is. But I gotta say, man, yo, you helped us all. And it's okay, Mika. It's cool. We love you. We love you, Mika. You know, you impressed the Slim Reaper. But other than that, hey, ladies and gentlemen, this Christian got bullets scholastically and physically.
Come here for the bullets and bouquets, because listen, it's gonna be slow singing and flower bringing when it's all said and done.
And you can only find the Slim Reaper here on Paradigm Shift, powered by the whole effing show. Yo, this is Classic Craig. I can't wait to see this victory by the truth. Spence. So anyway, we signing off, ladies and gentlemen. It's all cool. We love you, Mika. Shout out to Patrick Craig. Shout out to Information Age. We out. Later. Peace be upon you.